What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one, I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, how things are looking thus far. I'm also going to talk about the economic data that's coming out, what PPI just reported, how all of this is going to be affecting Tesla, SPY, NVIDIA, and a couple of other tickers during this pre-market session. But before I break anything down, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500 or more, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. And putting in $25,000 or more guarantees you 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. This offer ends in just about 5 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So when it comes to SPY, this thing is pushing up very nicely again, as we predicted yesterday. I predicted the market would push up more thanks to PPI, and then we're going to be watching to see what happens later on during the FOMC meeting. But looking at the PPI data, I just want to remind you all that thus far the data has been quite decent. The PPI month over month was a 0% change. The forecast was 0.1 or 0.2%. Core PPI was also at 0%. That's also below the forecast. Year over year, PPI is now at 2% on the core side, which is once again aligning with many expectations. It's actually below expectations, which is very good. And then year over year, PPI for all items is only 0.9%. This is showing signs that inflation is cooling down, and this tends to be a leading indicator for CPI, suggesting that we're likely going to see CPI drop more during the next report. Once the December data comes out next month, it's going to likely be cooler according to this. This is why this is bullish for the market. This is why the market's getting very excited. This is why the market is holding up the way it is. Now, to add on to this, I just want to mention that we can't forget that as time goes on, we have the 17-week bill auction coming out at 11:30 a.m. We'll watch how this affects the markets. Then at 2 o'clock p.m., we have the rate hike decision coming out. This is when they're going to be announcing what the Fed is going to be doing. Are they going to pause or not? Are they going to be raising rates again? There's a 98% chance they're going to just pause and not do anything for the rest of the year. So they're most likely going to be giving us no change. But what is a little bit more I would say pivotal for the moment is going to be the FOMC economic projections report. So this is when the Fed is basically going to be like telling us about what they anticipate for the future, when they may be expecting cuts, what they expect for monetary policy, and this is going to have a bigger effect on the market, in my opinion. The market's going to pay more attention to this at 2 p.m., so we'll be watching for that very carefully. So watch and see if there's any volatility based off this. And then finally, the bigger move is going to be happening at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we have Jerome Powell giving a speech at the Fed press conference. That's going to be huge. We'll see what he says. Usually he gives a very similar speech every time, but the market could have a very nuanced response nonetheless. So we'll be looking at that very carefully. Right now, futures are taking a bit higher as we're awaiting the Fed decision. The market is still strong and we're still holding up. So I want to just go straight into the charts and start breaking down these levels because, once again, I'm going to try to be kind of quick with this. So as far as SPY goes, I kind of drew this out spontaneously yesterday. So basically, I was anticipating like a push up as we open. So we could see a little bit more upside. If SPY keeps going, we could see this thing approach 466. But I do want to warn you guys that once Jerome Powell opens his mouth at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes the market does get a little like drop like this, and we could see SPY come down kind of quickly, then rebound. So I just wanted to warn you about that. But as of right now, we're pushing up. So approaching the Fed meeting, the market might hold up. We could see a bit more upside as SPY is continuing to break out. I want to call this out because on the 30 minutes time frame, the PPO is nearing a bullish crossover. And on the 4-hour, we remain bullish. As always, there's no sign of the market breaking down. We're continuing to uptrend on SPY. On Tesla was hit with a lot of bad news over the last couple of days, guys. That's why it's underperforming. The first bad piece of news involved Bernstein saying that Tesla has a 38% downside potential. And we also saw some more news coming out about Tesla potentially not seeing the strongest sales in China. There were some concerns about that. There were other analysts yesterday saying that Tesla has demand issues. I mean, it was just wild. On the 30 minutes time frame, looks like Tesla could attempt to bounce when we open just a little bit, push back up to 236.88, maybe a little bit higher. To be bullish, you want to see it get back above the 200 EMA on the 30 minutes time frame to get back above 240. That's how it's going to turn bullish. Otherwise, it's going to likely reject. A little pop is coming. Might end up rejecting as Tesla's looking very weak. So I had this drawn out yesterday. We're basically doing this now. We're going to have to redraw this because we're going to start from here. It is possible Tesla tries to rebound just a bit towards this upper trend line of resistance, but then it could also reject during Jerome Powell's speech like this and make its way back up. So you could see Tesla just continue to respect this channel. That's what I'm predicting. A little pop coming, could drop during Jerome Powell's speech and just come back up. Then we'll just have to see how it goes from there. But that's it for Tesla. As far as NVIDIA goes, before I talk about the QQQ and others, for NVIDIA, it's looking a little bit stronger. It was looking strong, but now it's kind of flat right here. So I warned you all that there are two possibilities on NVIDIA. It could make an attempt to go higher from here. It could try to push up with the morning data, but now it's looking kind of weak as we have this resistance at this 478 zone. So if we reject like this, because I was talking about a potential pullback coming, I'm going to be looking to see if NVIDIA retraces back down to like 469, then attempts to bounce like this. That's one possibility. Or if we're forming a flag right here, if there's like a bullish breakout, we could get like a little pop like this. I was talking about this possibility yesterday before we come back down, right? And whether we get this drop, it will depend on Jerome Powell's speech. We'll have to see what he says, but the best thing to do on NVIDIA is just look at your support and resistance. If we get above this 478 resistance zone, we could get very close to 480, then 482 as resistance. And for support, you have 475. If we lose this, watch for 471.5. Then we have 468, followed by the blue trend line over here, which happens to be around the 465 zone down here, which is where we could get a bounce. So with that being said, guys, make sure you watch these levels on NVIDIA. If there's a big rejection, I also went over how I could come all the way down here and bounce. But for now, I think that there's a chance that it could just try to hold up, and then Jerome Powell is going to determine if we get some kind of drop or not, and see if the buyers try to defend it, if we see the bounce like this, if we do end up coming back down. So watch your levels on video. That's going to be important. So let's just do the QQQ and Apple before I end up concluding this video. For the QQQ, I just want to mention that it still is very strong. It actually reached our targets. I was saying that yesterday we might see 400. We're already there. We're back above 400. We'll see if this thing could try to keep going. If it keeps going, we could see a push and attempt to get back up to 402. Then we might retrace towards the trend line and retest 400. We could even retest this breakout zone around like 398 and then bounce back up during Jerome Powell's speech. So it's looking strong right now. There's no sign of it stopping yet. Is this thing going to like pop like this, just a little bit higher, then come back down to either the trend line or the breakout area and then try to bounce? That's a real possibility. But overall, the QQQ looks bullish, continuing to break this resistance. Watch 400 and 402 as key levels. For support, make sure you watch 398, 396.5, and then 394. As of right now, it looks bullish. There's no sign of it stopping just yet. Apple's also looking bullish. I was talking yesterday about us potentially attempting to fill this gap like this. You can see we've pushed up to fill this gap. But the question is, will Apple stop from here? We're going to be looking at this resistance at 196. If we could break this, we could push even higher to 197. So somewhere within this range is where we could see Apple attempt to go. Then during Jerome Powell's speech, sometimes the market does kind of like slow down. So we're going to be watching to see if Jerome Powell causes some kind of like downside for the markets before another bounce like this. So we'll just have to see. But for now, Apple is holding up nicely and has filled this gap, and we have resistance between 196 and 197. 197 is going to be a key level. Could push a little bit more, and then we'll see if we get a rejection with Powell's speech before we try to bounce. We'll be watching all of this very, very carefully. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for listening. I want to keep this video kind of quick. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Don't forget, if we have FOMC later, and don't forget we have the Fed decision first, then FOMC and the press conference. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and peace out.